Robin, and what do you do? And I'm like, it isn't me, it's the character.
I know.
I don't disagree with you. I would, if I could, believe me, I would release Robin. But the truth is, the actress is busy. She doesn't have time, and it's not that I'm a horrible person. They're just entertaining you and trying to, So, but I have to deflect these things because really, it's like, please, people, I'm not mean. Well, my husband might beg to differ, but most of the time I'm nice, and it's like, why are you being mean? I'm not being mean. I'm just trying to teach you. You have to kiss me when you come home. It's an order. You come in the door, you have to kiss me before you go to your, computer. So, but really, I'm not mean.
It just amazes me that even in this day and age that people will do that they'll think that actual character is real and send mail like that. I don't understand that. I never did and I never will, because I've never looked at a TV and saw a character and thought, that's real, this is real. Well, why is it called a soap opera? Why is it called a movie if that person is real? I just don't, I never understood that.
I think some people just take it very seriously. Instead of looking at it as entertainment, they take it as a very personal thing, and they get connected. There was a show in Hungary. It was about a young girl who was a slave. Literally, every day the television would get money, donations, food, clothing sent on her behalf to help her. And she was portraying a slave. And it's a famous story in Hungary. It's like, really? But, people of all walks of life watch television, and I don't know, I guess they miss some of the education that TV is just entertainment. It's not real. And maybe they take it for real or.
Well, I need to take a psychology class again. I mean, it's been a million years since I've taken one, because I really would like to know, I'd like to understand what they are seeing, what they're thinking in their head to think that these are real people. It just boggles my mind. I don't know. And then to be an actress or an actor and get mail like that, or have somebody walk up to you and start screaming in your face, because I've read things and I've heard other interviews of other actors, daytime actors and that, where people have come up to them like in the airport or something and start screaming at them about something they've done.
Right.
And I can't imagine that.
Well, I heard they had somebody a while ago, or a few months ago, there was some people had signs up outside of General Hospital, the ABC lot, something, I don't know what it was for, but something protesting some of the storyline. I'm like, wow, that's devoted fans. Seriously devoted fans. You know what Frank Sinatra said? I don't care what you say about me, just spell my name right. That was the famous
perfect.
Line. So really, any kind of
perfect.
Isn't that great? I was like, okay. So.
Yeah, it's funny. My dad was just telling me the other day that he met Frank Sinatra when he was younger. He was with a friend of his and somebody else, and Frank Sinatra was in this restaurant, and his buddy's friend goes, "Come on, I'll introduce you." And my dad said, now if you knew my dad, you couldn't picture this, because he's, Marine to the core and very stern and very, one of those eyeball things, and you're melting on the floor. And here he's telling me this story that he walks into this restaurant and walks up to Frank Sinatra, and the guy introduces him. And my dad said he was at a loss for words. He says, I think I just shook his hand and said, I love your music or something. And, you just can't picture him being like that. So.
Aww. You know what? It's really cute, because two things. One, I was, when I was studying ballet, I don't know if you know who Margot Fonteyn is. But Margot Fonteyn was she was one of the biggest ballerinas of not our time, but another generation. But when I was studying dance 30 years ago, it was a big deal to me, and I loved her so much. And she had a book signing, and I grew up in a family. Jack Benny played with my father, the symphony orchestra. He was a guest. He's a brilliant violinist. I know, love him too. And Van Cliburn and Rostropovich and Oistrakh and Zubin Mehta. I mean, there was just something. Actually, he was conducting, but he was a friend of my father's. But he had these incredible soloists and artists that would come to our home. So I grew up with these incredible people. I never asked for autographs. Jack Benny's I have, but because this was part of our life, just these incredible, truly gifted people. So I grew up with all these people. But anyway, I went to Margot Fontana book signing, and I really wanted her autograph. And again, for me, I was in awe of her. So I get up to her, and it's my turn. I have the book, and I look at her, and she's, what's your name? Kathleen. So she wrote my book, and I was speechless. I was tongue-tied. I couldn't say a word. And when she gave me back the book, I just looked at her, and I said, good luck. And
good luck?
Good luck. This is here I am, like, I don't know, 15 or 16. Here's a ballerina. She was probably 60 by then, or 65, retired and everything. But she had this beautiful career. She danced, I think, into her 50s, if not later. And was and I couldn't think of anything. I mean, she didn't need good luck. I did.
Right.
But I said, good luck. I'm like, I'm so stupid. But my husband, who's an architect, and he the Grauman's Chinese. He and his partner did the restoration, and they built movie theaters, and he's done some beautiful things in Hollywood and Los Angeles. And he's a big, strong, lovely man, and he always wanted to be an astronaut. And when we've gone to events, and one time Daniel Craig and these big movie stars, and sometimes I just I really don't know what to say. I'm like in awe. And yet, or I just feel like we're colleagues and there's nothing to say. I don't really know what to say, like, loved your last film. It's always so awkward.
Right.
And he's fine. Daniel Craig and him, they talked away at the screening of it was Defiance a few years ago. They blabbered away. He was, oh, yeah, we had a good time. I couldn't think of anything. We go to a table, we sit down, and Buzz Aldrin is there. And
oh, wow.
My husband, who's always wanted to be an astronaut, he became a 3-year-old. He was like, And I said, oh, good, the table is turned. So, it's so like you said, your father was in awe of Frank Sinatra. He's like big, tough guy,
Yeah, it is. I mean, of course, now he's 70-something years old. I think he's 77 now, and he's not so frightening now to be around, but you can still picture back when you're a kid and how he was, and then to hear him talk like that, it was funny, but... And I've gotten that way, too, with, people that I've met, the very few that I've met. And you always have a paragraph or at least a sentence in your head that you're going to say to this person once you get up to them to meet them. But once you get up there, I mean, everything flies out of your brain and just, oatmeal comes out, I think.
Exactly. or you say things like good luck to somebody who's really successful. I'm looking at Daniel Craig because he's got these lovely blue eyes. I'm going, I don't know what to say. I loved you in the film. You were great. Okay, your turn. Husband, take over. Michael, bail me out. I don't know what to say. Help.
Right.
Oh, wait, here's Buzz Aldrin. Talk to him. Ha ha.
Well, if you're walking down the street or in a store or something, who do you most get recognized as one of the characters?
For a while when I was on 24 as Anya Suvarov, I was recognized then. I'm recognized now, obviously, as Doctor Obrect more than anything else of my current what I'm things that are out. And this woman, actually, at the post office, she came up to me and goes, oh, I love you so much on the show. And I'm like, phew, I never expect. And at the gym, people come up to me all the time. They're like, what's going on? Are you coming back on the show? I'm like, I can't say nothing,
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun. And when I was on All My Children, I was still in New York, and I remember I was in Bloomingdale's once because I had these nice paychecks, and I went to Bloomingdale's buying myself a beautiful red silk jacket, and it was just such a big deal. And I remember these 2 women came up to me, and they looked at me, and they're like, you and All My Children? I'm like, oh, so yes. They're like, are you Taffy Winslow? I'm like, yes. Yes. And they're like, you are such a bitch. I don't know if I can say that on the radio, but you're such a bitch.
Yeah, you can.
I can't say that. You are such a bitch. I tell you, that was the last thing. They turned on their heels as if they would write in a book, and they took off. Didn't ask for an autograph. Didn't want to talk. Just left hot. And I was like, oh, is this what being famous means? People hate you? This is my first break, right? I'm like, oh, no. This was my introduction to being recognized. I went, I'm not sure I want to be recognized. But honestly, I don't look like the character, I think. I mean, I'm pretty different. And most of the time, I'm pretty incognito. So I have a reasonably private life. Every now and then, someone will look at me and go, you're Dr. Obrect? I'm like, yep. Or I deny it. It's pretty low key.
Well, you change your hair color often. I noticed that. I mean, I've seen, and does it depend on the role, or it's just the mood you're in?
No. Actually, I've always been blonde, and 3 years ago I played the lead in a film called Retrace that was shot in Sweden and Romania and Hungary, and I went over there and the director said, the only thing I need you to do is cut your hair short and dye it dark. Are you willing? And I was like, oh, my long blonde hair. And Sam said, no, you can't take my hair. But I did that, and then when I came back to Los Angeles, I was going to change it back, and my husband said, I don't mind having a different-looking wife. I don't have to cheat on you. I can enjoy you with the dark hair. So I said, okay.
I don't have to cheat on you. What a thing to say.
It was a kind of no, and he was like, hey, I got a different new wife. I'm like, are you kidding? I'm an actress. What do you want? I'll be whatever you want this week.
Right.
Russian, Chinese, French, it doesn't matter. Green hair, purple hair. So, no, it was kind of a standing joke with us. But I started getting work playing on Alphas. I played the mother of Azita Ghanizada. She's the Iranian girl in the show. So I got a recurring role as her mother with the dark hair. And then I've been doing different roles with the dark hair, and some of them are recurring roles. So it's kind of hard to go back to being blonde because then next week they need you dark hair. So I'm like, anytime, just let me know, guys, if you want blonde, and I'll be blonde in a minute. But right now the dark hair is holding, and my husband's happy. The acting business is happy. So right now we're staying with dark hair.
Well, I think that your hair looks great dark because it makes your eyes stand out more.
Oh, thank you.
I agree.
You're welcome.
Thank you, guys. It shows the wrinkles more, but hey, I work hard for these wrinkles. I'm proud of these wrinkles. I deserve them. I work hard for them.
Each and every one of them. They have a name.
Each and every one of them. Absolutely.
Just like my gray hairs. I got the first one when I had my first child, and I was 24 at that time. Go figure.
Well,
yeah.
You have darker hair, then, you gray faster.
Yeah. Tell me about it. And one of the things I hate most in the world is having to dye my hair. And I let it go as long as I can, and then I'll get sick and tired of looking at the gray hairs popping up all over the place and think, okay, it's that time again.
I started using tweezers. You pull out one white hair or gray hair.
I did too.
Like you'll have bald patches. So no, I think coloring is good. Coloring. What did Kate Winslow say? I'll stop dyeing my hair after I'm dead.
Yes.
I'm with her.
Thankfully, my husband, he'll say something like, why are you dyeing your hair? Your hair looks fine the way it is. I'm like, get out of my face. He's being nice to me. But I'm like, you got to be kidding me,
No.
But he's just like that. He takes me any way I am. It's just us that I think are more hard on ourselves than other people are.
Absolutely. And, there's so many expectations. I mean, really, what's wonderful is today you can do whatever you want. You want to, have color your hair, don't color it, gain weight, lose weight. It doesn't matter. This is your life. You want to change. You want to move to another country. You want to do something different professionally. We're very fortunate to live in a society that we can really do what we want. As women, as human beings, we're free. I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah, and you just got to have the money sometimes to do some of the things that you want to do.
That's true.
That always helps,
It does, but what's that song? Money can't buy you love. No.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, watch this.
Oh, my gosh. Well, speaking of songs, because now you just sang, David brought up that we should have started the show out with the song Jump for you, but unfortunately I couldn't get my hands on that quick enough. So.
I can dance for you, but it'll be hard on the radio. Imagine me dancing. Obrect. I love that. That was one of my favorite moments. I got to show a lighter side of Obrect. Mm-hmm. And they only showed a piece of it because they shoot the whole scene, but sometimes they have to cut pieces of it. And I had a lot more dancing I was doing. It was really fun. It's like, come on,
my
show
gosh,
more.
I never laughed so hard when I saw her doing that because that's the last thing you expect her to be doing.
I know.
And then there's Kelly. Kelly Theobald comes out looking at you and say, "Who is this woman?"
That's my crazy mother. We have so much fun because she's really kind and nice and sweet and fun, and we rehearse, and she's a doll. And then we start working. She's like, okay, no more friendly. I'm like, fine. I don't like you either. And then we start working. We start snarling at each other. Now we work.
Well, I have to say that even though you may have people that hate your character, I mean, at least you know you're doing your job well, for one, and